Hey guys, welcome to JSpeak. This week we cover some questions. First question, do I adjust my own guitars? I do. If you're not comfortable with adjusting a truss rod, don't do it. But to me, you should know how to do, because with weather changes, and I'm sure you've noticed in my videos, I go from long sleeve to shorts to pants, whatever. So whatever it's doing outside, that's the way I'm dressed. Guitars will definitely bow in the neck. I have more of the bowing than the convex going on. When it gets colder, they seem to bow back, and I've got to straighten them up. It's an important skill to have. One of the things I bought a few years ago is this trusty little card. It's like a business card, but it's like a sharp metal. And I think I found this on Amazon, but it's this AZ Music string action guide. It shows the various measurements, and then there's an explanation on the back and further measurements, so you can do pickup height, string height. This is actually a pretty cheap way, and it could fit in your wallet if you wanted to, and you can take it with you, and then if your neck's a little messed up when you get to the gig, you can straighten it out, or if you haven't played something in a while and it's been in its case, whatever. Learning how to set up your guitars is definitely something you should look into. There's plenty of articles on Google if you're not sure how to do that. But here's a picture of what the necks look like, and then to straighten or put a bow in, you got to move the truss rod a different way. Now, some of the guitars are different. Gibson's multi-tool, or the old school, will adjust Gibsons. Fenders are a little different. The Elites are different than the Jazzmaster hanging back there. And then you also have my Squier bass. It needed a recent adjustment. It uses an Allen wrench, and I've got a little baggie of all sorts of sizes just kind of in the studio, so if I need one, I can use one. So talking about my bass, my string action height on on my Squier bass was like that. It was awful. I was recording a demo with the Black Star and the DSL, and I picked up a Mesa Rectoverb, and I'm messing around, and I haven't played my bass in a while, and it was just awful. So I had to dig out my Allen wrench and start adjusting it, which is kind of coincide with the question I got. So I was like, wow, that's interesting. So yes, I do adjust my own guitars. I find intonation is probably the most obnoxious thing to adjust. And the way I do that is you hit the string, you tune it, and then you check the harmonic on the 12th fret. And I also check the notes on the 12th fret and see where it is. I also find that I tend to play very heavy-handed, and it sounds like I'm out of tune a lot, but I'm not actually out of tune. That presents itself sometimes. I've tried to get better about taking my time, using a more delicate touch, and that actually opens up to new playing styles, so whatever. It's all good. But definitely try to figure out how to adjust your own guitars. I wouldn't start just turning your truss rod on your $4,000 Les Paul or something. I wouldn't practice on a guitar you really like. I remember one time I went to a local shop and I needed an adjustment on an SG Standard, and I walked in and the guy kind of laughed at me because I said, how much is the bench it? Can you adjust the neck real quick? He literally popped off the truss rod cover, turned it like a couple quarter turns, checked it, tuned it, gave it back to me and said, $5, man. I was like, wow, that's crazy, because I think the last time I took it to somebody it was like $80, and it was like, you serious? After that, I learned how to do it myself, and that was years ago. So definitely a worthwhile investment. So second question, do you play bass on your original songs, or are they software? I do play bass. I use this guy. It's a Squier jazz bass, nothing special. Actually, I think it's really cool. If I could get a Strat that looked like this, I probably would. I've never even taken the plastic off the pick guard. It's a good bass, it works really well. The string height I just adjusted, which is ironic to the question I got, but it's made in Indonesia. I've had the guitar for, 7-8 years, but every bass tone is this bass, which is kind of odd for a jazz bass. I just wanted something that I could lay bass down with and not necessarily spend a lot of money or think about it. And I've compared this bass to my friend's Ibanez. I borrowed American Professional jazz bass at some point and compared it to it, and I think it holds its own. I don't know, for a couple $100, it's a worthwhile investment. But yes, I do play all the bass on all the original tracks. Oh, and actually, do I play my own drums? I do have an electronic drum kit that sits over there. And I do play some drums on those, and I have it hooked to my Superior Drummer and Tune Track. I will play some of those tracks. I don't play all of them. Some of them I program, but some of them I do play. So it's kind of like, how much time do I have? Can I lay down some drums? Drums were the first thing I wanted to pick up when I was a kid, and my parents wouldn't let me, so I played guitar. I don't know if that actually benefited me or not, but that's where we are. Which, third question, are all the amp duels my original songs? Yes, they're all original compositions for all those amp demos. Honestly, it's just fun for me. Find a riff I like with an amp and I'm inspired by it, and it's like, oh, I'll compare it against this one. What I try to do is at least have like some palm muting, some sustained chords, some clean stuff, maybe some picking, do a solo, that kind of thing, and kind of make it something unique. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. As always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Many more videos to come. Don't miss one sub.